Hallelujah!
Welcome to ADHD Whiskey and welcome to the 14th day of the Minnesota Whiskey Elite Blind Whiskey Tasting Advent Calendar brought to you by me, Matt of ADHD Whiskey. Yesterday, the 13th of December, was exactly the middle point, the halftime show of this Advent calendar. Shooting the video for the 14th of December on the 13th of December right before I go live for my live stream. Am I gonna make this video extra quick? No, but maybe. I have yet to guess a whiskey based off the nose alone, therefore today I'm giving myself 14 seconds to smell it before I venture a guess. 14. America. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good. So pour yourself a drink. Sometimes singing holiday songs gets me in the whiskey tasting mood. Sometimes just waking up gets me in the whiskey tasting mood. All right, you whiskey looking son of a bitch. You have 14 seconds before I seal your fate. 14 seconds on the clock. And go. Nutty. It is very nutty. Very ethanol-like. 2 seconds. Larceny Barrel Proof. It's either Larceny Barrel Proof or a Knob Creek. Oh, I think I got this. It didn't smell like an amalgamation, if that's a word, of peanut oil and like vegetable oil, you know, like corn syrup. If that were the case, the peanut oil and the corn oil together, that would have led me down the path of Jim Beam. In those 14 seconds, I tried to detect a sawdust funk, but couldn't pick up on it. The nuttiness was extra nutty and extra sweet. Therefore, Larceny Barrel Proof. I'm feeling so good about this. Oh, on the 14th day. On the 14th day, we're gonna do it. I have a feeling. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Going back to the nose, and there is a slight cherry there. It's a slight cherry mixed with nuttiness. I was wrong about the sawdust note. Now that I get my nose deeper in there, after talking a bunch of shit, the sawdust note is there, which means if this is a Heaven Hill product, which the sawdust note lends me to believe that it is, Evan Williams is always on the table. The nose on this whiskey, which is definitely a bourbon, reminds me of a bit of a rainbow, or maybe instead of a rainbow, it's more of just an arch, like a golden arch, or the St. Louis arch, or just the way my shoulders are shaped. On one end, where it begins, if I'm doing this the correct way to the camera, so when I play it back, I'm starting at the spot that looks like I should be starting at and not on the opposite side, but I believe I've got it this time because when I did the graph earlier in the calendar, I was wrong. But if I start here, at the bottom of the arch, it's like some sweet cherry fruitiness. And then as it works its way up to the peak, is where you're getting that honeyed nuttiness. It's almost like a carameled honey nuttiness up here at the top. And then as it fades back down to the other end of the arch, that's when the sawdust comes in. That's when you're like, wait a Fred minute. Why did it have to be such a Scrooge? Why did we have to get the nuttiness into the sawdust? Not even poor Tiny Tim, who we all feel terrible for, because his life consists of nothing but shit, would enjoy a sawdust forward bourbon. Luckily for us, this isn't sawdust forward, it's just sawdust back end, backward. Day 14, down the hatch. Shit. Damn it. No. It's not high enough proof to be Larceny Barrel Proof. A little bit of a funky barrel finish. Just as I was about to sip it, I thought in my head, please be high proof. Please set me back a bit. Please make me go, wow, that make a bunch of stupid idiot Christmas faces. But that didn't happen. Instead, a gentle cherry nuttiness came over me. And I couldn't be more angry about that. Not because I'm angry about the whiskey, I'm just angry about my guess. Meaning that I won't be right again, and we only have 10 days remaining. Yeah, back to the nose, it does remind me of a Heaven Hill product. The nuttiness is so out there and so apparent. It kind of smells like a nut graham cracker, like if you crushed up like some peanuts and you crushed up a gram into the same bag and you shook it up. Kind of what that smells like. Second sip is even more thinning, more thin than the first, which sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and say that whatever we're tasting on day 14 is a pretty basic bourbon. Based off of my taste buds and my wallet buds, I would imagine that something like this should be available on store shelves throughout the year, and not just some store shelves, but a lot of store shelves. This tastes like something you could easily go pick up at the store down the street, even if that store specializes in packaged meat, like an underwear store. Get it? No? Whatever. There might be a little bit of butterscotch on here. One of those orange and black Halloween candies that, you know, they come in a thing that looks like a taffy, but it's like a peanut butter funk Halloween candy. There is quite a bit of that on the palate, but I don't believe that whatever is in this glass needs much more exploring than that. After my third and final sip, I will reassess what I just said, and if that stands true, we'll reveal the pour after I give it the score. Third sip, even more thin and underwhelming, and as you exhale and talk, the sawdust nuttiness really pokes through. This is probably my least favorite pour of the calendar. Based off the nose, I could see that being a possibility, but on the palate, it was kind of like, meh, kind of like a meh. Therefore, today, the 14th day of December, I am going to score this blind pour a 6.1. 6.1. It's fine. It's not bad. I can see people picking this up for possibly a mixer. I could see people picking this up as like maybe a budget sipper. There's no reason that whatever's in this glass should cost over 30 bucks. If it does, then I could make an entire list of bourbons to taste next to it that cost less than $30 that would put up a battle with it. And by battle, I mean whip its ass. Anyway, don't mean to be such a negative ninny muggins, but that's just how I feel about it. Now let's do the reveal to see if I stand by my feelings after I show you and me what we've been drinking. 14th day of December, 14th day of Advent, 14 days, videos in a row. We were drinking. Oh wait. A lot of you don't like the noise of me ripping paper. I told you you'd get sick of me throughout the month, and you guys were like, no, Matt, the more the better. And then like 10 days in, you're like, could you rip the paper any louder, asshole? I could, but I'm listening to you guys, and I'm using the knife. On the 14th day, we were drinking. Schla. Angel's Envy Triple Oak. What the fudge? Blend of Hungarian, Chinkapin, and French oak barrels. 92 proof. Angel's Envy Triple Oak Bourbon is not great. Angel's Envy Triple Oak Bourbon. Sorry, Angel's Envy Triple Oak. I hardly knew ye. That's gonna do it for day 14. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Angel's Envy Triple Oak. Have you had it? And what do you think? What is your prerogative? Sometimes I think I know words and then prerogative comes out, which hurts. Both of us, me and you. I'm sorry about that. My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds but your mind on not plugging your space heaters into surge protectors or extension cords. I saw it on Facebook. They said don't do that. And there's a picture of a burnt up outlet. Now what I'm not sure of is if one of those radiating heaters, the oil-filled radiating heaters that you plug in, if that's considered a space heater or not. But erring on the side of caution, I plugged mine directly into a surge protector. It's plugged into about a 30-foot extension cable. So it's right here heating these legs in my garage, but I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm making sure that nothing gets too hot, except for me. I should probably check on that right now, actually, because we don't need this many bottles of bourbon catching on fire. Not tonight. Not around Christmas.